Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's get it. What up, what up, what up, Eagle Nations fans, and welcome to the Fan Cave, where it doesn't matter where you live, as long as Eagle pride and Eagle green is what you give. I'm your host, OGP, and you know the deal. It's time to get real. You see the ticker. It's that time for us to start dealing with the bye week and coming off of bye week and all those things. I got a lot of things I want to talk about here. But before I do, please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell, help me out. If you have any questions, comments, or any or even any concerns, please, Eagles Nation's Fan Cave at Gmail. All right. So listen, get some things going here because you got things getting in the way. Okay. All right. So let's talk about the bye week. We're coming off the bye week. And, I hear people talking about, I watch all of the national and local prognosticators and talking heads talking about the Eagles' schedule and how they're going to fare and how the chances of them becoming having an undefeated season. Well, look, having an undefeated season would be great. Especially it would be another boasting point against the all those that say that they have more Super Bowl trophies than us. But it would be great. It would be great to have an undefeated season with a Super Bowl win. But more than anything, I'd rather have a Super Bowl win with a loss than to have an undefeated season and not win a Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is always, always, always the key. So I think that the whole idea of them trying to build up, they do that for ratings. The prognosticators, the talking heads, they want to talk about undefeated season. I'm sure that that's not what the Eagles are looking at. The Eagles are looking at the next game, and that is against the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? That's our next game. Because here's the deal. Every team can beat any team. They're capable of beating any team. Any team is, especially if you're not prepared. So that's, if anyone knows better than that, I believe every player on the Eagles. If I know that, then I know they know that. So I know that they understand the importance of preparation. But our history coming off of buys is not good. That's what concerns me. It's not so much the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's us. It's the way we play that concerns me coming off a bye. A lot of times I think what happens is everything is out of sync. Need to get used to getting hit again and hitting again. I think there's some, timing and all those kinds of things that come into question. And it depends on the team how fast that comes back. It could take a half, it could take a quarter, it could take the whole game. And sometimes what I've noticed is that the Eagles don't have a good first game after a bye. They normally start playing well the game after that. But so this is an important game. If we are looking at an undefeated season, I think this particular game could be a game for us, and so much because of the Steelers, but because of the way we play. So I'm not so much concerned about the Steelers as I am the way we play coming out off a bye. I hear people talking about some other things I'm gonna get to in a minute, but I want to talk about this game with Pittsburgh because that's what's the most important. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers, I went back and watched their last game a couple times with the Miami Dolphins, and I saw some things that I think that would that are very telling. And that is what Miami did. They used the running game. They used the running game, and I think that's what we need to do. We need to use the running game. We need to get Miles Sanders going early, and I think you need to get it going as an offense early because you need to get used to getting hitting, timing, get the timing back. Get the scheme back, get your mojo back. And I think that's the best way to do it is through your running game. I think we need to give Miles many touches, at least 20 to 25 touches this game to get our mojo back, to get everything moving again, get our timing on, because everything plays off the running game. Everybody wants to pass the ball. But what I saw with Miami is Miami's running game set up the play action and opened up the pulled up the linebackers and enabled the wideouts to get underneath, to get past the linebackers and underneath the secondary, and it was just there time and time again. So that means to me, Goddard. That means AJ Brown on slants would work. I think that deep in routes with Devontae Smith would work. I think that across the middle, those kinds of things will open up the home run for Quez Watkins. So if we were to do that, I think the key again is to start with the running game, and that's been the issue with the Eagles is wanting to pass the ball. These young coaches always want to pass the ball, and there's nothing wrong with passing the ball, but you have to set it up. You have to set it up, and the way you set it up is you set it up by running the ball. And for some reason, these young coaches want to always pass, and they think the pass opens up the running. It doesn't. What opens up the running, the passing is the running game. You need to start with that. Anyway, so that, looking at Pittsburgh, I think you got Pickett. Pickett is a quarterback that comes from Pitt, and so coming from Pitt, he has had exposure to the Pittsburgh Steelers because the Pittsburgh Steelers and the University of Pittsburgh use the same weight room. So he's been around them. They know him. He knows them. So it's not going to be too big for him as far as playing. But what will can be is we have to show him multiple fronts and multiple schemes. We need to confuse him because he is a rookie, and so being that, if he, at first Mitchell Trubisky beat him out as a starting quarterback, and Mitchell Trubisky is not saying a lot to me. So this guy, I think he's going to eventually be good, but he's not ready yet. So I think this year we can really put some pressure on him. I would like to see us. I would like to see us use a 5-man line and use Jordan Davis more up front in the running game, because I think that Pittsburgh has a really good running game with Najee Harris. Najee Good used to play for us. Najee Harris is a good running back. He has suffered a Liz Frank injury. So, with that, he's limited. He's not running as much as he was last year. And so I think what we and some of the running backs behind him are doing a good job. So I think if we present a 5-man front, that's going to be helpful in stopping the running game. I think that's the weakest part of our game as a team. As a defense, I think that's the weakest part of our defense is our run defense. We need to really put that and our blitz packages and blitzing, because if we need to put more pressure and stop the running game to force teams to be one-dimensional. If we want them to be one-dimensional, they begin to shoot into the strength of our defense, which is our pass defense. Our linebackers and our secondary is I believe the best in the league. But we've got to stop the run first. We've got to stop the run and make the team one-dimensional. But when we talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers, they are averaging around 16 points a game, a little over 16 points. I don't think that they'll get that on us. They shouldn't. They shouldn't get that on us. I think again, if we're going to beat this team, we've got to run the game. We got to run the ball. We got to open the game, give him Miles touches. Miles needs at least 20 to 25 touches. He needs to be able to get loose and everybody to get freaky again in the running game. I'm hoping that Lane Johnson is back. We need him on our offensive line. I think it's time that we as a team look at Lane Johnson. There's consistency in him not being able to stay active. I mean, if you look at him over the years, there's always been something, whether it's drug use, whether it's missing games because of emotional or whatever the reasons are. Lane has continually missed games. I think it's time. I know he's a good tackle. He's one of the best. But at the same token, I see a decline. I see a continuance. There's some issues, and probably some issues that they're not telling us about. So we need to run the ball. We definitely need to run the ball. And as I said earlier, the middle of the field is open through the passing game. I think we should exploit that. I think as a team, one of the things that concern me is our second half play. It's starting to become an issue for me. I thought that by now we would, and I have to say we are seeing some minute improvements in the second half, but it's time for us to push the envelope. And I think in order for us to have a better second half, I think we need to get AJ Brown more involved, especially in the second half. I like to see some sweeps. Put the ball in his hand. I want to see if he can do some of the things that the guy from San Francisco is doing. I want to see if he can do some sweeps. I want to see some more slants across the middle. Him and Goddard needs to be used more. There needs to be more. It's just I don't know what the second half play calling seems to be really, really poor, and it concerns me. Now, let's talk a little bit about the pressure that the Eagles are facing. You know, I hear a lot of people talking, especially nationally, in these talking heads, and some of the local talking heads are talking about an undefeated season. Undefeated season would be great, but it's not the objective. The objective is always a Super Bowl. Always a Super Bowl. So if we win all our games like the Patriots did and lose the Super Bowl, it's meaningless. But if we lose a regular season game and win the Super Bowl, that's more important. And I'd much rather have that second scenario than the first, right? I much would rather have that. So for me, you know, an undefeated season, fine, it's good. It's nice to have, but it's not the most important thing. It's not the most important thing for me. I hear people talking about getting another running back, getting that young man from Cleveland, Hunt. I don't think we need Hunt. I don't see anything that Hunt can do that Miles Sanders can't do. Matter of fact, personally, I think Miles Sanders is better. I think he's a better running back. He just needs to be given the opportunity. I don't know if this is a feeling that people think that we've got to do because we got Jay Ajayi after the break when we won the Super Bowl. And some people are so superstitious, they feel like you need to do the same thing over again. No, you don't fix what's not broke. Our running game is not broke. We're just not using it appropriately. That's the problem. We're not calling enough running plays. But when we do that, I don't think there's many people that can stop us. But for some reason, these young coaches, these young offensive coordinators, these young head coaches who have been offensive coordinators always want to pass the ball, not realizing that the running game sets up the play action that opens up the passing game. I said it, I keep saying it, and still we don't want to run the ball because it's not fly. It's not Gucci. It's not, you know, whatever. We don't think that it's going to fill seats. Listen, filling seats is okay, but winning games and winning Super Bowls comes through your defense. So if we're going to make any changes, I like to see us get Chubb or someone along that line that could help put pressure on the quarterbacks, because again, putting pressure on the quarterbacks will make them one-dimensional and make them play into our strength, which is our secondary. If we put on a five-man front and we start rushing the passers and we start putting in blitz packages and causing them to throw in the teeth of our strength, which is our secondary. So if we're going to get anything, Chubb or someone like Chubb, we don't necessarily need to get Chubb. Chubb being I believe he played. Who did he play for? Cleveland? No, I don't think he plays for Cleveland. I'm not sure what club he plays for, but anyway, he's supposedly a top-notch pass rusher. But I mean, okay, we could get a pass rusher, but I mean, we're not going to give up a whole bunch of draft picks, and that's what they want for him. a bunch of draft picks, and we're not giving up. No, that is what's going to change the landscape of our trajectory as a franchise for years to come. You don't give up that up for one player for 1 year. No, you don't do it. You don't do it. Well, we can generate pass rush. It's just that the defense, JG needs to become more exotic, and he's not doing it. So if we need anything, we need to. If we're going to get anything, I don't know if we need it, but if we're going to get anything as a result of the bye, because Howie has done things after the bye over the years, well, maybe we don't need to do as much this year. I think our team is pretty set. But if we were going to do anything, here's two things I think we could do. First thing is we could use help relative to our kickoff return. Covey's doing a better job than he has been in the past, but still, I think that he doesn't have the speed like the young man over in Dallas. He doesn't have the speed, the breakaway speed to run away from people. He can get us some yardage, and he's doing better than he was in the beginning of the year. And I think that our coverage teams are blocking better, but you still need someone with that poses that threat. I would like to see that happen. I would like to see that happen. Even if we're not going to do anything relative to getting Chubb or anyone like Chubb, I would rather see us get someone that can make a difference relative to the kickoff and the punt return. That's important. That's important. The next thing that I think is important is something I mentioned even before the season started, and that is I don't think that we have the right punter. I don't. His punting is average even now, and it's going to be sub-average, subpar when the weather gets cold. Last year he was kicking 20 and 30-yard punts. We need a punter that can flip the field. See, that becomes key in the colder months. A punter who can flip the field and make it so that they have to go 80 yards rather than going 40 yards from these lousy punts that he punts when it's cold. Right now it's not even cold, and he's average. He's average. So I'm not really feeling our suppose. I'm not. I never have. Ever since I saw him last year. We need a punter. We needed one, and I said it before the season started. And if anything bites us, it's going to be him. Okay. Before I close, I want to address one more thing. And right now, what we're experiencing in the NFL, I think people need to take note. They need to take note. You look at the play of Rodgers, Brady, Russell Wilson, and Matt Ryan. You see that these guys are not playing well at all. They're not playing well at all. And I say this to you. There's a changing of the guard. There's a changing of the guard happening with the NFL. There's a changing of the guard, and we need to get ready for it, because the bottom line is these quarterbacks that are the new guard have more ability to with their legs, and they have the ability to affect the game with their arm. We're talking about people we're talking about Allen. We're talking about Jackson from Baltimore. We're talking about Herbert from the Chargers, and we're talking about Jalen Hurts from the Philadelphia Eagles. That's right. I said it. Jalen Hurts from the Philadelphia Eagles, because all these quarterbacks can do it with both legs and arm. Tua Tagovailoa, he can only do it with his arm. He's not a good runner. He's not going to be able to do it with his legs. And even more so now with the concussion situation that has occurred. So when we look about the changing of the guard, I believe that the ones that I mentioned are the main ones. Is a changing of the guard in the NFL relative to quarterbacks. Now, what I love about our team is we've got a quarterback that, and we've got a team that understands the importance of 4th and 1. We're like no other team in the NFL. With Jalen Hurts and with our line telling them, Kelsey telling them what's going to happen, and you still can't stop it. My goodness, when you got a quarterback that that can squat 600 pounds, you got running backs coming in behind him, you can't stop that. But what I would like to see is a fake. I'd like to see a fake and somebody get hit in the flat, or somebody get hit, and that would cause these defenses to take even more notice on that 4th and 1. Just try it. I mean, just try it. A fake going like, and then just jump past, across or in the flat, something like that. It'd be excellent. Anyway, I'm excited. Anyway, listen, guys. I think that I hear people talking about the being undefeated, one game at a time, just one game at a time. And I know the Eagles know this. Just one game at a time. I don't think anybody in the Eagles are looking past the Steelers. I don't believe that. I think they are smart enough to know. I mean, they're in a position to do something very, very special. And they've been saying this all year, to do something very, very special. But you can only do that which is special by staying in the here and now. You got to take care of business right now. And I believe they know that, and they're going to do that. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. It's at the link. No better place to play. And in closing, I got to give a shout out to the Philadelphia Phillies. I have to. I don't have my hat. I thought I had it with me. I have to get a shout out to the Philadelphia Phillies going to the World Series. I've watched every game. I am so proud of the Philadelphia Phillies. Harper is the real deal. I mean, the team is playing phenomenal. Now, I know there's a layoff. I'm hoping that doesn't kill the mojo. We'll see. I'm looking forward to, I believe it's Friday. They play game 1 Friday in Houston. And I mean, every Philadelphia Eagle fan should be pressing and supporting the Philadelphia Phillies as well, as much as the Eagles right now. Because the Phillies are representing the city of brotherly love, and I'm happy. Well, that's it for this particular edition of the Red Hot Mike. Oh, the Red Hot Mike. That's my other channel of the Eagle Fan Cave, Eagle Nation's Fan Cave. So I'm really I have 3 channels, by the way, and so I stay quite busy. If I'm not on this one, I'm on the Red Hot Mike. If I'm not on the Red Hot Mike, I'm on what my other channel, which is called Purpose Sphere. So I have 3. So feel free to join me on any of them. So until the next time, listen. I appreciate you, and I thank you for your support. Until next time, listen, I need to say this one more time. Please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell. If you have any questions, concerns, or comments, please hit me up on Eagle Nation's Fan Cave at Gmail. Till next time, this is OGP bidding you peace, power, and Eagle pride.